What is
I'm
up,
not sure what to
everybody?
expect out there.
XHBK
We've never
here
seen anything like
from
this before. You'll be equipped with sensors
twitch.tv/XHBK.
that feed back to our labs.
I'm here today
The
to
data should
hopefully
help us
give you
trace
a
where
little
these
insight
disruptions are coming
into
from.
how to get guaranteed
You'll have to work
legendaries
fast.
from the new Rifts in Marvel's Avengers. New content that was added this week as of Thursday, they went live, are Tachyon Rifts, and what they tell you is that the first run of every daily rift, you have an increased chance to get the Of the Storm set pieces and also exotic versions of those set pieces, which is true, and also a guaranteed chance at cosmic gear. What this video should hopefully show you here is that you will get a guaranteed legendary piece if you follow this system. So when these came out, there's two rifts. There's a tutorial rift, which is what we're doing right now, Tachyon Rift Breakout. That is repeatable and it's the same every day.
We're dropping you
Not
at
sure
the
if it's
heart of the
sticking
storm.
around, and that's why I would pay
Things
attention to this
might
now.
get a little weird.
And then there's a daily rift that
Reliving your
changes.
past
It's
is
a little
kind
bit
of
harder and requires
Just
multiple
stay
people.
focused
This one
on
can be
completing
done
the
solo,
mission. This is the only way
but
we
I
can get
would
accurate data on
recommend
storms.
doing it with friends. It makes it easier, but it also can be done solo. This is with 2 people. First things first, the most important part about doing this, the guaranteed legendary, is 5-starring all objectives, so you cannot die. If you die, you are going to get a purple every single time. So make sure that you take care of your life. You can see as we run through here, pick up all the orbs on the way, run right to the main objectives. Do not do side objectives. The point of this is to grind and farm legendary gear, farm cosmic perks on legendary gear. So you don't, all these side objectives, which are great in most missions for gearing up and other things, they're not worth it here because you're not going to get the gear that you're looking for that you get for the mission rewards.
Just have the word of the Inhumans.
So as we go through here, it's going to take a little while to get to the actual objective. You can speed it up, but it won't be that much longer now. This is a good perspective from Captain America because he's unfortunately the worst traversal over big distances in the game right now.
So you've been building the resistance
He can
in
barely
secret
keep
all
up,
these
as you
years?
see shield running.
Not intentional. At least not in
What
the
I went
beginning.
past right there
A lot of us
is
were captured by
a
aim early on.
rocket turret. You have to be careful
we
because you're
realized
losing your
nobody was
life down to
coming for
about
us,
25%. That's one of the modifiers for this mission this week. So it won't kill you, it'll take you to about to where I am right there. When you get to this objective, you see the cutscene starts. This cutscene will also bring other players who are behind to you, and it will fill your health back up. So that's why we don't worry about health. Just don't get hit by that rocket turret if you go that way, if you can't fly. And now this is objective 1. So the other modifier here is all enemies have overshields, which is part of the difficulty, but all heroics charge at a very high rate. It's the supercharged modifier, not to be confused with Malcolm, which is not very good. So use your heroics liberally, and if Captain America heals the full, so you can use that as a get out of jail button if you're about to die. Because again, you cannot die. If you die, you will not get the guaranteed legendary. So this is just killing the enemies out in this open area. See, we kind of cut through them very quickly. Every orb with 2 players, so your maximum amount of time, which unfortunately this overlay does block the time. Your maximum amount of time that you can get in the rift is 1 minute with 2 people or more. And every time you pick up an orb, which is what we use to boost the time, you get a maximum of 12 seconds unless you're at the cap with 2 people. It goes down to 10 with 3, and with 4 it goes on to 8. So this is a really cool game mode. I really enjoy it. It's good for grinding. It'll be nice when we see even more of things like this for variety. That objective is done. We killed everybody. You hit that switch to start this one. Enemy spawn. These are the things that you have to pull out and have a teammate hit. So we are coordinating here. Now will pull this out for me. I have my ult, so it's going faster. That one's done. Immediately move on to the next side. Clear out these guys. You do have to watch out for these rockets. Peacekeepers, that's the guy I'm killing right now. And you can see why. He just runs into the base. Because they have overshields, they don't have the normal hit stun until the overshield's gone. And once the overshield is gone, they pretty much have it. So if you have a good look here. Setup. So now he's clearing out the other side. I'm calling him over to get this thing pulled out. I don't have my ult, so I'm just using charge heavy attacks. That's done, and now you just clean up the enemies.
That did it. Let's get in there.
Which I think they're cleaned up here, it looks like. Highly recommend. So the elevator just opened. Have one person go press the button, other person go outside and get time. Sometimes you get lucky, and we did here. There's an orb right in front of the door. So I'm going to charge right through that. As soon as you're all in this circle, or the Avengers are assembled from the countdown, the timer stops for the loading. It's really nice. So we're going up here with a minute. So that's 2 objectives done, 5 stars. Mostly just killing things. If you have somebody that plays Thor, Thor can actually solo the 2 generators that you pull out there. You just use Warrior's Fury and he can pull it out himself and his electricity will kill it. And then if you use Bifrost with the plasma or fire damage, Bifrost on top of the other one and pull out, and that will then kill it too.
Where to?
So this is important. There's always an orb that spawns nearby. I didn't see it there on this entrance. Grab it on the way in. I shouldn't even be doing what I was doing there. I just got baited by the shield drone. Run right to the end. Have one person press the button because there's not a lot of orbs in here. See, I knocked them off of her to not interrupt the cast, and it's a
You
taunt.
sure this is the right place? I've nearly
Pretty
breached
good
AIM's
timing there.
network. They're hiding something.
This is a room full of 5
Stand
elite
by and
units.
see to
It's
the
always a
enforcers.
dreadbot, and then it's
Oh,
4
they'll get
synthoids.
Please work fast, Jarvis.
Or else get in the way.
Fast as my processor allows, sir.
Depending, pay attention. It's easy to get distracted with killing, and that's what makes this most fun. Managing the time. We went in here with full fog, so we just light this thing up, as you can see. The other guys, because they were nearby. Orbs spawn pretty well in this room. There's one right to my left there. There's one to my right now. So it's a cool mode. You play differently because there's a little bit of a sense of urgency with the time. But as long as you're killing and then grabbing these, I don't know if I finished saying it, but takedown, they do give you 3 seconds, but those just kind of pay for the animation of the takedown. I'd love to see that go up a little bit, or even just be the same as an orb, or 8 seconds. So now we're waiting for the elevator to get ready. They have to finish their dialogue, same thing as last time. As a side note, you can see Thor had a damage buff there. Because you constantly take damage as one of the modifiers per second, Thor has a modifier that if he takes damage, he has a chance to get a damage buff. So that actually applies the damage buff. He actually constantly has a damage buff here. It's pretty crazy. So the modifiers, again, are overshielded. Every single enemy has the elite shield. Heroics are back very fast.
Looks like
The
we
time
made
for
it just in
Tachyon Rift,
time.
which is always going to be there.
Get
And
close
the
to those terminals so I
damage
can
over time to
infiltrate their
you.
network. We must
So this is a
control all
territories
3
one,
to
and this is the
override
hardest thing
transport
to do by
navigation
yourself.
systems. Be on guard. AIM will
I
try
like to cap the
regain
middle one.
control of
My
the
friend goes up
terminals.
top here on Kamala. Cap the middle one. Run down to C. Cap that. And then you really just have to watch for these diamonds. If you play this game, you know these territory type things are difficult. What I did right there is, because the overshield, normally you would know you can just knock them right off that, but because they have the overshield, they can't actually be interrupted when they're capping. So I highly recommend a character that can do any kind of pinning attack. Thor Hammer does it instantly when you throw it. Cap has a pin on his shield combo for a spec, and you'll see it right here. You know, eat this guy right off the cliff, knock him off of there, even though he has an overshield. Iron Man has a rocket combo with a pin. I'm trying to think of all the characters that can do it. Otherwise, just use your heroics if you need to get him off of there. Do a little battery damage on these guys. Another fun fact is you can, here, I'm gonna get this guy off of there. So the overshield stopping him, but he's gone.
Not feeling so hot, guys.
You can also, if you have him, when you shrink him, you get a quick window to do a takedown on them, even when they have an overshield. Those swarm drones are dangerous because they will shield everything, and they have a shield themselves, so you kind of gotta try to take them out when you can. Every once in a while there can be a bug on this one where orbs don't spawn at all. And then near the end, when you're about 70%, 75% progress, you see here, it kind of gets chaotic quickly, so just go up here, defend. As long as you have 3, it's going to cap out real quickly here. So just keep them off the thing, and you're done. And now you see, so that was the last objective. That one, you can't have anybody die as well, but you also can't let the enemy team get to 25% or more. 24% or less is okay, but if they get 25%, you lose a star there. So now, that blue was random. That was a drop in the instance. You're going to see the rewards here. As you can see, it is a legendary. It's actually a shield. From what I have seen on this specific mission, if you only get melee or ranged items, unless you get an exotic, which you can get at any time, it's just a lower drop rate.
They could get much worse.
The melee items are always going to have a cosmic perk.
I'll send the coordinates to your war
The
table.
range seemed to be random. This was actually the first time I got a cosmic damage perk on cap. So I was pretty happy about that. It's not the best rolls for what I'm looking for, but basically this is how you can farm your whole set. If you want to get cosmic in one slot or the other, just keep running this and keep doing what you saw here. So you can you can do this by yourself. If you do it by yourself, there's a 2-minute and 20-second cap on the timer, and every orb gives you 20 seconds. But it is a lot harder at the end. The rest of it's not that bad. So cosmic perk is very strong for battery. It's kind of like PIM, except they take even more damage when they're affected. It wears off faster. But that is it's highly sought after, and that's also new with the Rift. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to kind of point out. But like I said, that was about 10 minutes. If you rush to the objective like that, have good damage, you can clear that out. Use your heroics liberally. Do not die. If you get low, use a heroic that gives you health. All do give you a little bit of health. Most alts heal the character to full. And that's that. You'll always get a legendary every time. So far in our group of people that have run this, we've gotten exotics, 2 or 3 of those from here. I myself have gotten one, which was the chest piece. When you get the exotic, it will be any slot, but it will be of the storm. So I got the breastplate of the storm or chestplate of the storm on cap, which you can see. Let me actually back that up there. I don't mouse over it, but you can see my chest defensive item there. There's an exotic in my bags. So yeah, Tachyon Rifts, very fun. I don't know if this is going to stick around. So right now, I would say grind the heck out of this just to get your cosmic gear. It's going to be a random legendary, but you could have some really crazy stuff from that. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or want to talk about it, feel free to do so in the comments. The last thing I will say is make sure you do your daily Tachyon Rift, which is not this one. It's today it was an Out of the Shadows, I believe, the Shield faction mission. Every time you do that, I would recommend the same thing. Try to 100% it. We're at about 50% for people running that. The first time you do it in the day, you have an increased chance in an exotic and that of the storm set, and we're about 50% where people are getting exotics for that. I've gotten one there as well, which was the gloves. So thank you guys for watching. Feel free to check me out on twitch.tv/xhbk. I stream about 90% Marvel's Avengers, and very often, usually about late afternoon. Happy to have you there and ask questions or talk about the game. Thank you so much.